Hello, YouTube. So, day 48. I want to do a video about how I knew I was trans. And I actually wrote a letter that accompanied the letter that my psychologist wrote to get HRT. And I think it kind of sums it up the most. It was well received, for what it's worth. But before I read this, the newer developments. I think I'm losing muscle mass in my legs. I think my throat, like my neck, is skinnier. And I tried to parallel park 3 times yesterday unsuccessfully and gave up. That's never happened in my life. So I guess those are all new developments. Is my spatial perception supposed to go away? Because I think that happened. But I have a theory. I have a superpower theory that basically guys and girls have superpowers. And the guy's superpower is upper body strength. And the girl's superpower is cleavage. So I'll be trading one for the other. The other thing, who knows, I might want to see this later. Features definitely softer. And that indentation in the cheek, definitely not there before. So, the letter. Okay, so it starts. And I stated my name, but I'm going to keep this on the DL for a little while at least, guys. I am a woman trapped in a man's body and am seeking HRT. I will eventually be pursuing FFS and SRS. I feel being a woman in the world will, these are bullet points, dissolve only the inner conflict that I have over being a man on the outside and a woman on the inside, and eliminate the associated blaring cognitive dissonance that I live with daily. Next bullet. Relief from having to be someone I am not, and no longer having to act the part of male. Next bullet. Allow me to express myself emotionally as I feel and have it be socially appropriate. Allow me to experience all things physically as a woman as much as current surgery allows. Wink, wink. Allow me to see the me in the mirror who I know I am and not the gender that I am currently. Allow me to comfortably wear women's clothing in public, which is way more comfortable than guys' clothing. Next section. The challenges I will face are probable job challenges, both finding and keeping jobs, rejection from some friends and family, 2 or more years where I may not pass and will have to deal with public prejudice, legal hoops such as name change, changing all personal documents, etc. Financial, new wardrobes, surgeries, makeup, hair removal, and more. Ethical dilemmas, and possible rejection around to whom and when I may disclose that I had been born male, both in casual and romantic relationships. And, the kicker, possible rejection from the LGBT community. Tragic. My gender history. I have only recently gotten my history back. It has come back in flashes ever since it became clear to me that I am in fact a woman in a man's body. In retrospect now, looking back, I see how this contributed to internal conflict as far back as I can remember. Brief history of cross-dressing. I remember all the way back to preschool wishing I could be a girl and trading clothing with a female classmate. I remember playing with Barbies until I realized it was wrong somewhere around 1st grade and started playing with G.I. Joes. I recall a distinct moment when in a Long's drugstore I wanted to buy a She-Ra doll, the female He-Man. I told my great-grandmother, who I was with, that I could say, "Oh, it's for my sister." She didn't know why I would need to say that. However, I knew that my desire was wrong. Later, from 5th grade until high school, I would cross-dress daily, more or less daily. I made several outfits and would dress up anytime I was alone. I also snuck into my mom's room and would put on clothes. Yeah, maybe I want to make that too public. That's what we do, right? That's normal. Normal. That's funny. Brief history of relationships. In looking back, I feel my gender dysphoria was most evident in my relationships with women. I had thought I was a womanizer after some time because I would date women and often the relationships were short. It has become clear as day that I had dated women because I wanted to be one. It was a way of being closer to what I didn't know I could become. Any of these relationships would quickly, physically go cold. Although I was and am very affectionate, sexually I am not happy or comfortable as a man. In fact, until now, I have not realized the exhaustion that keeping up this front has created. It is a false self for me, and I remain speechlessly grateful that I live in a time where I could do something about it. That's true. Informed consent. Side note, I did this section because I talked about it in the Standards of Care, the 6th version, and I just wanted to, do everything I could to just be like, eliminate the gatekeepers. So, informed consent. I know that in pursuing HRT there are risks. I know also that there are many physical things that don't change. I am hoping in pursuing HRT that the following occur. My skin softens, breast development, body fat redistribution, and I know I have to continue to eat and to diet and eat well, adjusting my calories for my desired body weight. Hopefully, some reduction of body hair growth, smaller muscles. I am happy to know that I can do the transdermal patch that I went through Kaiser, because it will be easier on my liver over time than other options. I've heard that's an issue. I know that many changes are irreversible after 6 months, especially any breast development. I threw that in just so they knew I knew. Readiness. I have done my best to prepare for my transition. The best I have read and been, I've done my best to prepare for my transition, the best I have read and been advised to. Wow, sorry guys, that's a horrible sentence. Oh well. Come out to immediate family members, friends and family members. Coming out, I've come out to those close to me, developed a support network of trans-friendly people, clothing and hair removal, purchased clothing and outfits and makeup, started permanent hair removal both at home with a My Elos machine that I got, and I am doing the laser hair removal. As far as my voice, I purchased a DVD series from the Deep Stealth and I'm optimistic about my voice since I have a musical background. Let's see. Emotional and general support. I have come out to my wife. She is extremely supportive and we have embraced a polyamorous lifestyle, and she is both excited and happy with the change. I have modeled every outfit I have purchased for her. I have modeled every outfit I have purchased for her, shopped for makeup with her. I talk with her openly about her other partner interests, etc. Parents. I've done my best to educate and inform my parents about what I'm doing, and they have said they support me. Therapists. I've seen, I have the psychologist letter I say in there, and my primary care doctor, and blah, blah, blah. Friends. I have a close friend that I play music with, and I've let him know about what I'm doing, and we both have disabilities, and have been open about our lives with our disabilities with each other. And as you can see, I'm probably editing some of this as I go. I just want to do the interesting parts. Oh yeah, here's one. I've heard this from some of the other girls. Coping with depression. I've read that hormones can exacerbate depression. Should this occur, I will reach out to the people above that I mentioned. I will network with my support group and look for the winners, like an AA, ones who are positive and realistic and transitioning well. And my last video I talked about that, like just happy that there's people that are enthusiastic about just the opportunities to transition in this day and age. Man, who would have thunk? I guess I would have been kind of lucky to be born female, and that would have been a form of luck, but can't go back on that. So yay medical science. So that's about all I got. Hope everybody's doing well, and thanks for the subscribers. It's kind of interesting. I know what all would happen with that, but I'm happy to be sharing it with some of the girls I follow. So I'm sure that everything I've read here is something that they have said, gone through, all that kind of stuff. But hopefully it's a little useful. But as a side note on the history, it's funny, when I talked to my parents, they were looking for a preponderance of evidence, basically. They're like, well, we never noticed, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But I told them it's not like a preponderance of evidence. You can't look for like, oh, I did 11 things that are associated with transsexual history, in the greater sample sizes, and therefore I'm trans. It's more than that. It's a feeling. It's the feeling that made me do those things, or even brought me close to wanting to do some of those things, the cross-dressing, being more comfortable in other clothes, all that kind of stuff. And it's that feeling that I acted on when I decided to transition, not some laundry list of cross-dressing in private middle school. That was just whatever it was. But yeah, still new to the YouTube thing. Thanks everybody.